This is neutral speculation. I want to touch on the November 2nd fight between Oshaki Foster versus Robson Conceicao. This is a anticipated fight, especially for those boxing fans that, you know, that cheer rematch and cheer revenge and so forth. Now, whoever saw the first fight, we all know what happened. If you don't know, I'm going to fill you in. Foster and Conceicao, it was a good fight. It was an entertainment fight. And unfortunately, Oshaki Foster was robbed, I should say, of his title. He clearly won that fight. He made the fight look easy. He did what he was supposed to do, but he didn't do enough to win the judge's decision. Oshaki Foster left out of that arena without his WBC world title. And Robson Conceicao, he's a world champion, and that's great for him. He worked hard to get it, and in the fight, Conceicao was moving his hands, man. He was moving his hands. He was going strong. He landed some good shots, but it was nothing so significant to the point where it was close, or he should be declared the winner. And from the judge's from my point of view, now it's great that he won the world title because I know he worked extremely hard to do so. But let's just swing this back to the judges real quick. The judges gotta open up, man. They gotta see what boxing really is. Boxing is not necessarily always trying to hurt your opponent. You can make the fight look easy and make your opponent look, levels beneath you. That's what boxing is. It's a sweet science involved. Boxing is much more than just hurting the other person. It's showing skill. It's showing how you can offset and minimize a person's attack. And there's much more than that as well. But those are a few things that boxing gives viewers. Boxing is a great sport where it's mano a mano, and how can you make this man miss? How can you make this man that is a punching machine, or he's a high-rated worker in the ring, throwing consecutive punches? How can you make this guy, look amateur? How can you make him look levels beneath you? That's what boxing. That's one part of what boxing is, and a lot of judges don't see it that way. So I'm gonna get right into the upcoming fight, November 2nd, Foster and Conceicao. What they need to do, major components. I'm gonna start with the world champion, Robson Conceicao. Robson Conceicao needs to continue doing what he's doing, what he did the first fight. He needs to do that in the second fight, without a doubt. He needs to keep his hands moving, and I think he needs to be a lot more evident in his punches. He needs to land shots, throw combinations, show effective aggressiveness, and also move his head as well. He needs to move his head before his punches and after his punches, and do his best to create angles. Although Oshaki Foster is very quick, very good with his defense and his feet and everything, Conceicao needs to use his angles, because right when Oshaki Foster is trying to leave out that side door, left or right, Conceicao needs to be there with a punch to meet Oshaki Foster. So that's what I think Conceicao should do in terms of improving to retain his world title. It's going to be a tough fight because we all saw the first fight, and the second one is definitely going to be a determining factor on what you need to do in order to retain your title, and in Conceicao's case, and what you need to do to regain your title in Oshaki Foster's case. So let me go to the major components of Oshaki Foster. Oshaki Foster has to definitely have his defense present. Don't, continue to be smart. But what Oshaki Foster absolutely needs to do is throw more punches. He needs to continue throwing punches. Do it strategically, like he did the first fight, but it has to be evident. You can't throw 2 or 3 punches, land it, and then let this guy work on you, and you're catching his shots and you're not making him pay. Well, Sharky Foster needs to make Conceicao pay for every counter, for every miss. Well, Sharky Foster needs to make Conceicao pay. Also, a major component for Foster is being mean. He has to sit on his punches from time to time. He has the ability to box and be light on his feet and show great upper body movement with his defense, but he also needs to sit down on some punches to slow Conceicao down. When you slow a puncher or a brawler or a fighter down, the judges see that. You know, it has to be something where he can continue coming, but you have to really, stop him for those split seconds so the judges can see it. And I believe that Sharky Foster needs to do that in order to get in the brains of the judges that this guy, not only does he have skills, but he has a lot of power as well. He's trying to hurt this guy. He's trying to hurt Conceicao. So Sharky Foster needs to do that. He needs to be mean in the ring. Boxing is always going to work. Skills are always going to work. But when it comes straight down to the hurt business, that's what Sharky Foster needs to do in order to regain his world title. This is a good fight. I like this fight. Once again, I tuned in on the first one. I'm going to tune in on the second fight. Both fighters are going to be well conditioned because they both have something to prove to themselves and to the boxing world, and also to the judges. Conceicao has to show the world that was no fluke. Although, Robson Conceicao, he put up a good fight. He kept moving. He kept letting his hands go. Even when he wasn't hitting anything, Sharky Foster would make a miss, he'll still continue coming. Robson was definitely accelerating and moving his hands. And that was the determining factor, I believe, on Conceicao winning his world title. Continue keeping your hands moving and do your best to hurt the other opponent. You got to throw some power shots. Although he didn't land on Foster's chin, but he would land on Foster's arm when Foster would roll the shot or catch the shot. And the judge is seeing that Conceicao is trying to hurt this guy. He's trying to, build up his points on power. So the fight is coming, is approaching. Those are the major components of what I believe each fighter should use. What do you think? This is neutral speculation. Like, comment, subscribe.